Signs, you are chosen. This isn't coming from somebody who's sitting at their computer looking up the signs. This isn't coming from somebody who's going to regurgitate something that you heard from the Gaia channel. This isn't somebody who is waiting for a TikTok video to drop so that they can have something to repeat. This is someone who's walking the walk of what you call not only the chosen, the elect. So when I speak, it's going to be from the center of I and I. It's going to be from the center of that which is centered. Okay, that green light, El Kadir, the green one. And when I speak, it's because I've encountered and I've experienced for myself, literally in real time, the green light. And I can tell you, it's real. What Dr. Malachi Z. York have been speaking about for years is real. What they wound up putting in a movie called Meteor Man is real. As a matter of fact, June 26th, they just had a meteorite pass over Atlanta, the city I'm in. Okay, and I felt it and heard it. It sounded like thunder. And it was one of the marvels of the city. People didn't, listen, you don't see or hear about those types of things in Atlanta. But it happened on Dr. Malachi Z. York's birthday, June 26th. Also, at 12 a.m., midnight, which is when it was said that Dr. Malachi Z. York was birthed. Okay, June 26th, not only myself, but others around me were able to behold the green light. And it came with a frequency, a resonance. And what was the resonance? It was woo, 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 woo. You understand? And you had to be there to experience it. And then other people were having the experience not long after, where they said they experienced the green light, or they experienced a craft that was glowing green. So the green light is very real. And you'll know, or pay attention to it, that it's not just something that I'm saying right now, because a long time ago, Dr. Malachi Z. York came out with the Sons of the Green Light. I grew up knowing the science of the Sons of the Green Light. I grew up being surrounded by green lights. When I used to go to certain stores that we had green light in it with all the statues and the sacreds and everything that was being taught at the time. And then you see me come out, or you saw me come out on November 6th of 2023. Right, when we hit the 6 with a 9, and I said, what are we about to do? We're about to activate the green light movement. You remember that? And I said, you have to learn the science of the green light. Why would I say science of the green light? Because etymologically, science was saying to know. You would have to come to know the green light for yourself. I said, everybody put green lights in your home. That will be the sign that you will send off yourself. Remember, communication isn't just one way. You can have beings communicate with you, and you can communicate with beings. It doesn't always have to exist on some interdimensional or spiritual level. It could just be something as simple as you have somebody's phone number, so you can call them, and they have your phone number, they can call you. You send text messages all the time. Communication isn't some woo-woo spiritual, out-of-this-world reality. It's something that you can look at every day, day in and day out. So there's a possibility that when you send out that signal, when I was going live and I was telling y'all, I said, watch this. I said, you sent the signal out and then look for the responses. There's a possibility that not only are you able to be responded to, okay, meaning things in your life can happen in accordance with that green light that you align with, you may also see the green light yourself outside of your home, not from a light bulb. I'm talking about a flash in the sky, and nobody is going to be able to explain to you what it is. I'm talking about somebody telling me they sitting outside with somebody, and there are no clouds in the sky, clear skies, and they're speaking about it, and then they say the word, yeah, no, and then the green light shows. You know what I'm saying? They said it flashed, and the person, I talked to the person that they showed, and they said they racked their brain, and there was nothing that they could find. There was no type of explanation that they had for that green light. You understand? So the light that I'm talking about is an emerald green light, an emerald green occurrence. Okay, I first saw it maybe a few months ago. Okay, there was a lightning storm, and there were 2 flashes of green. And I got up and I told the sisters who were around me, I said, look, I just saw 2 flashes of green light. Okay, for the rest of the shadow hour, there was regular lightning. Okay, I'm talking about white, the blue, the stuff that you normally see. But I couldn't get out of my mind the thought, the memory, the image of that emerald green light. And I kept looking for it. And every now and again, I see a flash, and it'd be one single flash. I said, there it goes, that was the green light again. You see what I'm explaining to you? And then that day came, June 25th, going into June June 26th, where I kept seeing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, even up to the point where one of the flashes hit so hard and it was resonating so deeply that it knocked me on my back. And I was on live on Instagram when it happened. Okay, and I was saying to y'all who were on that live, I said, can you see it? I was asking y'all, can you see the green light? I kept saying, it's green, it's green, it's green. Only we can see the green. Look, and you can see it. I said, if they just move the clouds, you'll be able to see what I'm saying. There's a vortex right there. It's green, 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 green. You see, I'm explaining to you what's the point there. The point there is I can tell you for sure that green light is real. We've come to know the green light. And I tell people, don't just have the experience, make sure you know it in your mind. Remember, sometimes you have to wake up every day and tell you, I saw that green light. I saw that green light. I was there. I was standing there. So it doesn't become a distant memory to you. It doesn't fade away. Okay, all of you who are saying you're chosen and looking to be reached out to, you should be looking for that green light. You should have the patience to see it. When them lightning storms come around to you, look for the green flashes. Okay, and not even just the lightning storms, just wait and be patient, because it seems as though that green light is revealing itself to certain people, and I bear witness to it. Okay, interestingly enough, I had been talking to my dad earlier that day, okay, right before it all happened, June 25th. Talking to my dad about how they were doing the drumming ceremony for Pops, all of that. And I was asking him, questions, and I got to my most important question, the most vital question of all. I said, yo, what's up with the green light? Because I've been seeing these green flashes. Okay, I've never seen this before in my life. I've seen the green light. I've been around the green light. I looked at the light bulbs. I saw the images. I've seen the aura. I've seen the glow around the ship. I've seen the emerald tablets. I've seen green, 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 green. The sacred wisdom of Tahuti, green, green, green. El-Kedir, Melchizedek, green, 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 green. But what's these flashes that I'm seeing in what you call physical reality that I can look out and see? And my dad was like, that's Yanu telling you he's with you. You want to know what's so interesting? I had just been watching and listening to a teaching before I left that day. And the teaching was Malachi Zadok, El-Kedir with us. You see what I'm explaining to you? And while we were out driving around, it's just me and sisters. While we out driving around, we see Emmanuel. I said, what's Emmanuel mean? Emmanuel means God with us. Okay, so I was asking my dad earlier before any of this happened, what's up with the green flashes? He said, that means Yanun is telling you he's with you. All right, that green one is with you. And then literally less than a few hours later, that's when the green light started flashing. It was back to back to back to back to back to back. And the whole time I was doing everything in my power to get people to see. And then the sisters were finally able to see it. They saw it with me. The three of us saw it together. And it was a green resonance. That wasn't even a flash. I've seen flashes. That occurred at 12 midnight on Dr. Malachi Z's birthday. Listen, if it was just me, that would be different. But I'm telling you, there are two other people that witnessed that. That wasn't a flash. That was a resonance. That was a glow. And it said, and then it went out. And everybody was like, whoa, wow. And when that happened, I flew back again. You understand? So these are some powerful things. So all of you chosen ones, you need to be looking for that green light. You need to be looking for not just the green light, the physical occurrence. You need to be looking for the green light in the people that you encounter. You need to be looking for the green light when you're passing by strangers. You need to be looking for the green light in the information that you're receiving. That green light brings you to the center. That green light is saying peace and tranquility, like the word shalom. Okay, like you're saying inshallah, you're saying God willing in Arabic, right? But if I said inshallah in Hebrew, I'm saying peace, I'm saying tranquility, I'm saying serenity. And even for you to say God willing, there has to be some type of peace and serenity in your mind for you to allow things that need to happen. You understand that? That's what you're looking for. Because you're not going to be worried when everybody say, look at these over here, these wars and rumors of wars. All right, you got famines and earthquakes and all that other stuff. Floods in diverse places, earthquakes in diverse places, and all of the tornadoes in diverse places. You understand? You won't have to worry about that, you elect, because you know the end is not yet. You understand that? For those people who are worried, they'll say this is a dreadful day. For you, you're going to say this is a great day. You're not fearing the natural disasters. All right, you get a message on your phone, say there's a flash flood warning. There's no fear that comes over your body. You look out there, they say there's a tsunami coming. You don't have any fear. Some people are literally afraid Because things are happening in places that they haven't happened before. You understand that? People are looking at this, and what's an earthquake in Atlanta, earthquake here. These people haven't experienced it. And it's not saying that the earthquakes never occur in Atlanta. It's just saying that people are experiencing things that have never happened in their lifetime. To the point where they're feeling it, they're experiencing it, they're walking outside and the water is waist level. You understand? That's something that they haven't seen. And there's no warning. Nature isn't knocking on your door and asking, are you ready? You understand? The forces of nature are moving beyond what people may be ready to understand right now. But what's truly happening is there's a call to all of you chosen, because y'all know the signs. It don't matter from which orientation you're coming from. Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, agnostic, deist, Gnostic, doesn't matter. Just a spiritual person, whatever you want to call yourself, you still know what a sign is. And you know when you get that sign is relaying a certain amount of information. And whether or not you know what that information is will determine how far you go from that gem, or how far you go from that jewel that was presented to you from that sign. And Dr. Malachi York, I got it on good authority, said recently, pay attention to the signs. Look out for the signs. The signs are going to be coming. And one of those signs is the green light. You can't mistake it. When you're watching and you're seeing and it comes to you, you need to remember it. It's going to be an emerald green light. Remember, I told you that. All right? While they watching, look, they watching the skies. They talking about outer space. They got people at Harvard doing studies. Somebody named Ivy Loeb talking about they done tracked down some spaceship-looking object or seeming object that's supposed to be disguising itself as some type of comet. And they like, look at it, it's cylinder shaped and all this stuff. Let's get the book of Zechariah, chapter 5. All right? But they said they're seeing something similar to what Zechariah was talking about. All right? And if we're not careful, we could be looking at something at Independence Day. I'm not saying to jump immediately to that. But if you read the book of Zechariah, chapter 5, you will see in the beginning of the vision that he's being given about whatever angel is walking him through the visions. It seems as though this is some type of craft that has the ability to come in and hover, all right, and then cut down whatever home is over. So they're talking about it's a possible probe that's disguising itself not just as a comet, because the comet will be something that they're tracking in orbit. You understand? This ain't the first time this done happened. They did this with Hellbound. They said they saw something behind Hellbound. Dr. Malachi York was talking about it. Dr. Malachi York said, watch the comics. When they get to saying this is a comet, this and a comet, that. He said, look, there was a comet that showed up that was green when I was born. And they said it was a comet. Okay, and then they come out with these movies like Meteor Man, and they show you that these ain't meteors, man. You know, you go and you look at it, they come in, they hover, and they go into, there's an impartation, okay, or an incarnation that takes place. Okay, it's not just a meteor. Or sometimes you'll see that what they're disguising as or talking about as an asteroid is actually one of the crafts. So you could be looking at one of those motherships or spaceships or whatever you said. This is what they're saying. I'm not telling you it's happening. I'm saying this is literally what they're talking about, and they're speaking about it amongst themselves in the universities. They're studying it now. Some people trying to shut it down. Some people trying to amplify it. But everybody is speaking about it amongst that scientific community. They're watching those astronomers saying, what is this object? And that's not the only object they're watching. Didn't I tell y'all that? I said they're going to have objects come. They don't know what those objects are. They don't know what they're looking at. They don't know what they're seeing. But they still have to respond. They still have to look at it and say, okay, we see this. They've been talking about a mother plane for a while. They'll do it every now and again. They'll say, we just tracked down another mother plane image. We don't know what it is. We don't know where it's coming from. All we know is it seems that it's being governed by some people or driven by some people. It seems to be operated by intelligent life. And then they'll go off and talk about that to themselves. But then they'll call the rest of the teachers that came out here speaking, they'll call them pseudoscientists. Okay, they'll call them pseudo. But nobody goes and calls the government pseudo, and they've been packing all them files in the FBI vault, the CIA, all this law. They talk about UAPs, unknowns. Every time you get to figuring out more about what they're talking about, they just change the name. They go from a UFO to an unknown to a UAP. Okay, how about you do what Donald Trump was telling the people to do? Declassify all of it and explain what it really is that you're speaking about. Okay, because if you get close enough, it seems that Dr. Malachi York would have been telling the truth. Maybe that's the possible reason as to why everybody wants to sneak out in the woodworks or from the woodworks and talk about Project 2030 all of a sudden. You know where Project 2030 came from. I can prove to you where Project 2030 came from. It came from the Holy Tablets by Dr. Malachi Z. York. As a matter of fact, he didn't just say this is going to happen on 2030. He spoke about things that will be happening leading up to the year 2030. This book was written before I was birthed. I'm birthed in 1998, September 20. You understand what I'm saying to you? He was talking about all of the weather problems that they were going to be having, the famines, all of that. He was talking about the genetic and DNA, what do you call it, the mutations, the genetic mutations. And he was talking about what you're seeing on the news. You see that somebody done they done killed the little babies or killed 2 little babies and put them in the trunk and this, that, and you say, what these people are turning on one another. You got somebody that shot a baby in the face. You got children that kill it. He talked about that. He said the children turning on the parents turning on the children. Okay, rampant insanity. That was one of the things that he said was going to be a part of the 7 thunders. Rampant insanity. People are losing their minds. You see these stories and you don't know how these people can do the things they're doing. But they're losing their minds. And all it takes is a split second. All it takes is a nanosecond for somebody's mind to tweak out. And it seems that something takes over them. And they do these demonic things. And then you see remorse later. Because who or what was it? Who or what were you when you were doing these things? Dr. Malachi Z. York also spoke about that. When he was saying everybody's going through transformations. Some people are transforming into devils. And some people are transforming into gods or supreme beings. Some people are going to become more aggressive and irritable. Some of you are going to become more peaceful and serene. You don't want to deal with all the drama. You don't want to be around hostility. Why? Because you're transforming back into the center, okay, which will be forward, all right, away from the regressive self that has to rely on instinct, that has to rely on the reptilian brain, and only the reptilian brain and the limbic system say, I'm an animal, I'm a dog, I'm a bitch, I'm a da-da-da. You going further away from that. And you want to be more peaceful because you're wiser. There's no reason to have caveman resolves, okay, which aren't really resolves. There's no reason to want to bash and crush it. That's shaitan in them. You see what I'm explaining to you? You're on a different type of route, and your route is making sure that your soul, as you call it, or your brain, your mind is intact, centered, psychic self-defense set up, locked and firm. You see what I'm explaining to you? Why? This is what Dr. Malachi Z. York is explaining, that you want to advance your mind because it's easier. If this is the truth, it'll be easier for those extraterrestrial beings, like they put in the movie Knowing, to communicate with you. All right, but if you're distracted, you got all the alcohol in your system, you got all the pornography in your system, you clubbing every week, you taking all kind of drugs and shrooms and letting people convince you that it's going to help you ascend. You're doing all these things other than dealing with self. Okay, well then where are they going to dial into? You're talking about ET phone home. Okay, what if the ETs are attempting to get in touch with you? You see what I'm explaining to you? When it's home or you over here thinking that this is your house, when are you going to phone the ETs? Another thing that we were taught, that everybody wants to be communicated with and contacted by ETs, but who's going to make the moves to make sure that you can contact them? Okay? Or who's going to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do so that they're contactable? Now, you don't have to believe what I'm saying. That's the beautiful part about it. Okay? You can experience it or you don't experience it. All right? This is why they speak about elect. If you just look at it on a scientific level alone, how not everybody is going through these types of changes right now. Remember, I told you, the sun is going to be too hot for certain people. And it's not going to just be these Caucasoids. They're lying. Okay, you'll have Caucasians standing out in the sun and they're doing just fine. And then you'll have that same melanin dominant person talking about we black, we can take the sun, and they can't take the sun. They looking at you like, yo, you ready to go? It's too hot out here. And they're supposed to be people of the sun. No, it's way deeper than that. It's a frequency judgment. You understand? You want to see what people been doing, what they've been up to? Tell them, hey, y'all want to invite you to the park. Go out in the sun and see who can stay in it. And when you see that they can't stay in the sun, you'll see they haven't been making those changes. All right? It requires, you have to be more tolerable to certain types of frequencies and rays and heat and pressure. You have to be more tolerable to that. That's why I'm telling you now, it's through the sun. Meaning you have to go through the fire. Some of y'all trying to walk around it. And the sun isn't technically even a fire. It's a whole different pressurized environment. But the point there is you have to go through it. You see? And when you're going through it, all right, and it's better to go through it now, isn't it, than to delay it and wait later. You go through it, you come out on the other side purified. Go through your purgatory or purgatory now. Okay, Tori is saying Tor or lane. All right, take your lane to purge now. Don't wait. Okay, all you chosen ones, when you're having a fast, go through your fast. If it take you 15 fasts, okay, to get some days in, go through the 15 fast. You do a 9-day fast, you go through the 9-day fast, go through your 9-day fast. Whatever fasting you're doing, you do 3 days, you do a day. Whatever fasting you're doing, remember, make your fasts consistent, okay, and make sure that they're consecutive. Back to back. Don't just do it one time and then come back 6 months later. You're fooling yourself. Keep building up that resilience and watch what happens. It ain't going to be something I'm going to have to say. You're going to just look at people different. And people are going to look at you different if you don't look at them different, so you might as well put on that different lens because they're going to start looking at you different. All right? You listen, you might be working out doing and then you'll feel an evil eye on you. And this is your friend. You say, yo, we both in the gym. Why are you looking at me like that? Why? Because you're actually transforming and they're not. So eventually, this is what Dr. Malachi York was saying. You have to get away from certain beings. Okay? Because then that same feeling that Cain got with Abel, that starts boiling back up in their genes. And they want to get rid of you. All right? Or they want to belittle you. Or they want to tear you down. They don't want to listen. Get away from that. You need to go to those environments as a wise one. You go to those environments where you're loved and accepted and other people are doing the same things you're doing. And you say, but Faith, what if that's nowhere? Well, then you have to know where you're going. Then you need to be on the move. You see what I'm explaining to you? You shouldn't be stopping in those places where you're not accepted for that transformative being that you are. Okay, it may be time to leave that job. I didn't know who was going to preach. Y'all didn't tell me who was going to preach, but this is what we got to. It may be time to leave that job. You understand? It may be time to put down the friendships that you've been holding up and it's been buckling your knees. It may be time to put them down. You say, man, they don't get it. I've been telling them this. I've been telling them that. I've been telling them, stop telling them so much. How about start showing it? Okay, you go to the gym, Carrie. Okay, well then it don't need to be no funny games, does it? When you keep building yourself up and you done got stronger and stronger and stronger, and now you're walking longer and longer and longer, and they can't walk with you, eventually you'll look around and what are they going to be? They're going to be left behind. Know that some people will lag behind. They'll come to you and say, go to the mountaintop. All right? They'll talk about it. They'll say, yeah, we about to go and get Lot in them. Accept some prayer because we already know she's going to lag behind. You can look at the light and say, I already see where this person's going. I already see what they're about to do. You see, so you're speaking about elect. That's not a dead state. That's a live state. If you get electrocuted, I bet you your ass ain't going to be sitting still. You see what I'm explaining to you? That's a live wire. You say a live. Don't step on that what? Live wire. It's all in the words. Elect, electricity. Okay? Even like election, when they want your VOLT, your vote. These people know it's an energy thing. Okay? Meaning energy, saying what's charging through you and surging through you. And also energy has the capacity to do work. How much energy, how much work do you have the ability to do? You see what I'm explaining to you? So all of y'all who paying attention and looking at what they're tracking down, let's get to the book of Zechariah chapter 5. Okay? Watch what they're about to say in this book. And let's see, even now look, you got all throughout the scriptures where they talk about these types of occurrences of extraterrestrial crafts and things like that. And we're going to tie it all around and let's see what is this? What do these types of vehicles and beings have to do with the chosen? Let's do it.
Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits.
Right.
Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over.
Pay attention, because it's about to get this language is interesting how they use it. Okay, you might think curse as in some magic spell. You got to listen to what they're about to say.
Then he said unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as one this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on the side according to it.
Come on.
I will bring it forth, said the Lord, he of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief.
Watch this. Listen, it shall enter into the house. It's going over the face of the earth. You see what this? You see how they describe it? He said he sees a roll. Another way to say that is a scroll. All right, which is a cylinder type object. You see what I'm explaining to you? And it's coming over the face of the earth, floating over the face of the earth, and it's cutting people off. And then it'll enter into the home of the thieves. Okay, if you thinking that you're just looking at some piece of paper walking into somebody's house, you don't understand, again, the biblical language and how they say certain things. That's a ship flying into a city. But it doesn't just fly over it. What does it do?
Right. And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof.
Check this out. It said it shall remain in the midst. It hovered like Independence Day. It hovered and then it consumed the city. The stones, all of that got consumed. In this vision, this is the Lord or the angel explaining that they have the ability to do that. Sodom and Gomorrah was consumed by these same types of crafts. Okay? Different stories where you have destructions, where certain ships come through and they lay waste to entire cities. You see what I'm explaining to you? So my point is, we're speaking of technology that the God's children wouldn't have no worry of. God's children, the chosen wouldn't need to be worried about God's kingdom coming down from out of heaven. The chosen people, the elect, wouldn't have to worry about it. Because if anything, guess what they're going to get? They're going to get a sign. They're going to get a message. They're going to get a vision. And in the vision or sleep incubation process, what's going to happen? They'll come to you. They'll say, get up and go. Okay? And you have to be agreeable. If you're disagreeable, guess what you're going to wake up and do? You're going to disagree. And guess what's going to happen? You'll be destroyed. Do you understand what I'm explaining to you? That only the agreeables would even be communicated with because they're wise enough to know whether or not you'll be disagreeable, whether or not you'll receive the message, whether or not you know when we say do this, do that then. Because you're going to wait a few times. Maybe I got time to sit. Like Lot's wife. And then you will see what happens with those people. This doesn't have to be seen as just some biblical thing. This is happening in reality. Where some people, you get this message and say, man, you know what, I need to invest in this thing. And then you wait and say, nah, I'm just going to wait a little longer. And then a little longer becomes 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. And that's when you know that thing becomes Apple. But you knew when it was 10 cents, you could have got in and you didn't get in. Say, man, I need to start working out. I'm going to do it later. And you do it later, do it later, do it later. 5 years later, you say, what's happened? What's become of myself? You know what became of yourself. You knew what you needed to do and you just didn't do it. So are you really functioning as the elect? Are you really functioning as the chosen? Not just the chosen, not just the elect, the ones who say that they're going to do differently than the masses do. Okay, I was taught the masses are asses, don't be one of them. You're going to have to do differently. When you start going up that mountain to survive whatever destruction is coming, you'll realize the further you get up the mountain, the less people there are. The less civilization there is. People don't live on mountaintops in thousands. You got that at the bottom or the base of the mountain. When you get to that summit, there are only few people there. That's why a lot of these movies show you that the extraterrestrial encounters take place on the mountains. When you got the Close Encounter of the Third Kind, when they went up there on that Devil's Tower Plateau, okay, you see there was a few people up there, and then they were making sure that everybody around the base of it was falling asleep. They were spraying that thing around so people couldn't get to the top. You see, but then when they got to the top, they were able to interact with these beings who come from higher planes, outside in, and they would have to be wise enough to know how human civilization works. They're not going to just go and meet people at the Walmart. You see what I'm explaining to you? They're not going to risk being shot down, all these baby planes. No, unless the only time you would see them is like what you just read. If you see them, it's too late. You notice that's when the government start doing everything they can. When they hit that, what's the last thing they always want to try to pull? Bring out the nukes. When they don't know what else to do, notice they'll never try to communicate. They just go straight to shooting. You see, and they wonder why they're being destroyed. Because you just proved why you need to be destroyed. Why are you going straight to shooting? You see what I'm explaining to you? Because that's that primitive mindset. The same way you talk to somebody and they were even on the internet. You see, people could easily get into the intellectual discourse, but the first thing niggas want to do, I want to fight. I'm a fighter. I don't do all the internet stuff. They posted on the internet talking they don't do all the internet. Yes, you do all the internet stuff. You don't want to do this internet stuff. Because this internet stuff will expose your stuff. I got more stuff. You see what I'm explaining to you? And all people have to do is look at that and say, that's a primitive thing. When you run into people in real time, and they can't communicate without having to swing at something and fight and yell and lash out. Yeah, you're primitive. And now you can look at people and just see their emotions and look at it as just what it is, a display of emotions. I was taught that by my mother, by the way. Okay, one of the ways I was able to get through certain things without having to get held up in jail and stuff is I was taught, when people start doing certain shit, just look at them and just, you can see that they have no control, no composure over their emotions. The people who lack emotional regulation, they won't see evolution. So a part of your evolutionary process will be emotional regulation. You can't be getting ticked off. You see what I'm saying? You're not no ticking time bomb. You're not a loose cannon. You with me? So all of these things that they're speaking of now, these things have been written in these stories. Okay, let's get the book of Matthew chapter 24. All right, we can start at the book of Matthew chapter 24. Let's go 19 to 23. Okay, 24, 19, 23.
And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not
in the winter.
Neither on the Sabbath day.
Come on.
For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since
the beginning of time.
Of the world of this time, nor ever shall be.
Right.
And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved.
Yeah.
But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Okay, let's look at that right now. Chosen ones, is time speeding up. Elect ones, is time speeding up. Didn't you just get to July? Okay? Didn't you just get to the jewel of the eye? The jewels of the eye. Pay attention. And I kept writing it out. If y'all would watch, I said, this is the jewel of the eye, jewel of the eye, jewel of the eye. Okay? And certain works are being done behind the scenes that are unseen. Okay? Didn't you just get there, though? And now you're in August. Some of y'all are going to count July 31st. That doesn't even count. You'll see. Wait. And then when you get to the end of the day, say, what happened to the day? Exactly. Time is speeding up. And they've been speaking about that for years. Okay? They said that there's a mysterious force causing time to speed up. And when they say time speed up, here's what you need to understand. They measure time based off of cycles. Human beings have done that for a long time. They measure the rotation of the planet Earth. They measure the orbit of the planet Earth around the sun, the orbit of the moon around it. They say, yo, all this stuff is speeding up. It's like you go back and watch the movie Dark Crystal, where they say the universe is like a clock. You see what I'm saying? Hold back the clock. You stop looking at clock as a timekeeper, and you start looking at clock as a dial, a gear that turns, and when it starts to turn, certain things open. Dr. Malachi York taught the heavens open at certain times. When you say heavens open, a scientific word for that will be what? Vortex. A scientific word for that will be what? Portal. You got to get out of that astrology version of a portal. Y'all just had 777. Remember everybody talking about that? Oh, it's 777. July 7, 777. Then nothing happened. The only thing that happened is it became the next day. Y'all didn't do anything but post about it. That wasn't an actual vortex. Y'all are missing the real vortex. It's June 26th was a vortex. And they didn't even speak about it. And then I told those people who were out there in the conscious community, right, they were on top of Stone Mountain on June 28th. I said, if y'all would have done this on his birthday, y'all would have been right up under the meteorite when it came over. Y'all would have had that experience. That would have been an extraterrestrial encounter. And you forwent that because you're trying to ignore Dr. Malachi Z. York, interestingly enough. What do you mean extraterrestrial encounter? Meteorites are extraterrestrial. They come from outside of the Earth's atmosphere. Extraterrestrial doesn't mean intelligent life form. Extraterrestrials can be spores and germs, planetoids, asteroids, meteorites, okay, space debris. If it came from outside of the Earth and it came into your Earth's atmosphere, that is an extraterrestrial. That's why they say they're seeking intelligent extraterrestrial life. They don't just say extraterrestrials. The moon is an extraterrestrial. The sun is an extraterrestrial. The stars are extraterrestrial. It's opening your mind up. So they would have been right. They would have had an extraterrestrial encounter. All they would have had to do was honor that day that they were given through Dr. Malachi Z. York as not just his birthday. It's one of the days that the scientists watch. They got 2 points that they watch yearly, June 26th and August 12th. For the past 2 years, August 12th opened up the vortex for meteorite showers. And that's not a sign. And Dr. Malachi Z. York said that that will be one of the dates to look out for, August 12th, or the lunar login. All you have to do is read the Holy Tablets. But let these people out here tell you the Holy Tablets is a religious book. That's a lie. The Holy Tablets is full of prophecies that have come true. The Holy Tablets is full of science that beat the scientists to it. He disguised it as the Holy Tablets. All of the sciences are hidden within what you think are religious stories. Sound familiar? That's what we've always done. We've always explained science through allegory and symbolism and metaphysics, or what they call it, metaphors and things of the such. And that's exactly what he did. He was speaking about quantum physics and how we need to become quantum physicists. In the Holy Tablets before I was born. Now niggas just now studying quantum physics by going to YouTube videos and looking at what they done put out. You're not actually studying quantum physics then. You're not studying quantum mechanics then. You see, but the elect will. The elect will study the sciences to keep up with what's happening, and you won't have a lot of time to do it. But the elect are going to stop believing these spiritual spooky things, and you're going to get down to the science. Matter of fact, you're going to get up to the science. Okay, you're going to leave that failing spiritual world behind. It is failing. Everybody talking about they speeding up. The world is advancing. You see people talking about that, right? There's going to be a new earth. The old earth is going to phase away, and a new earth is going to phase in. And everybody's still trying to do old earth shit, say old earth things. No, you have to begin to form yourself or transform yourself into new beings then. You have to make all things new. You can't still be saying the same things. You can't be believing the same things. You have to put things to the test and see whether or not they're real. That's what the elect will do. So as you just said, the elect are experiencing things from a different standpoint or a different viewpoint. Time is speeding up. And the only way you're able to align with that is if you yourself speed up. Remember y'all asked me, how do we speed up? I said fast. Isn't it in the word? It's almost like they programmed it that way. You have to speed up. You can fast to speed up. You can fast from food. You can fast from music. Fast from people. You can do vocal fast. Fast from speaking. Stop speaking so much. Listen, go and watch the movie 1,000 Words. And you'll see what I'm saying. You can fast from a million different things. But once you fast from anything, you'll realize how people don't even pay attention to what the thing itself is or what it's doing to them. Food, people ain't paying attention to what that is and what it's doing to them. What it's actually supposed to be for, nutrients. What it's actually supposed to be for, sustenance. It's not supposed to be for, I just feel like doing this, so I'm just going to load it all up in my body. So that's when you become with all these extra issues and ailments and excess fat, and we have to get that off of us, okay? Talking just to talk. Just being around people, you talking, you ain't watching people. You see what I'm explaining to you? You ain't watching how they responding to you talking, and they talking, and they ain't even watching that. You can't even see that. So nobody's of sound mind. Just be quiet and watch. You see what I'm saying? Literally, try that. Do 3 days, and just don't speak unless you have to, and watch what you'll learn. First of all, you'll think about your voice differently. You're going to think about the words you say differently. And the same way when you start fasting, everybody and their mama offers you a plate. guess what? When you stop talking, everybody's going to want you to talk. They're going to want you to speak. You know what I'm saying? Now listen, y'all see, I'm doing this every day. The only way I do a vocal fast is if I have to take a listen, y'all, we're going to take a week off from this. Okay? But I'm telling you, people around me, it will feel weird for them. Because if they hear a voice come out, or listen, a word come from my lips daily, they know something is good. Okay? They're going to have to find what's good if I be quiet. People say, I miss your voice. You see what I'm explaining to you? The world misses the voice of phase one if he decides to be quiet. All right? The reminder seeps away. That's why I told people, those of y'all who came out here and you saw the cracks and you saw the blink and the flash, what I told you. I said, remember the flash. The world out there is noisy. Vocal fasting, you'll realize not only how much the world is noisy, you'll realize how much you may contribute to the noise. You see what I'm explaining to you? Well, you're trying to get things in order. Why don't you be quiet and just get them in order? Stop talking about getting them in order, just get them in order. You see what I'm explaining to you? Those of y'all who are part of the Supreme Being Men's Group, you want to know why I said be quiet? Huh? Because you start telling people what you're doing, and they start wishing against it, or it becomes jealousy and all those other things, and then that atmosphere becomes filthy. You keep it pure, you keep it clean, you get it done, and then you show up new, and let them wonder how you did it, so that they can't sprinkle this in your brain, sprinkle that in your brain, ask you this, all that. No, keep it quiet. You understand what's playing to you? And just work, lock in and work. And some of y'all been doing it. Somebody came to me the other day and said, yo, man, I failed. I had to leave the group. I said, get your ass back in the group. What do you mean you failed? You see, do you understand where you came from? That's like our goal was to make $1 million, and here you come from, I failed, I only made $800,000. You didn't have anything before we started. Look at what you've done. Look at what you built up. Get back in the group. Niggas leaving thinking that, do y'all think I never fail? Do you think I never fall short? You think I don't start something and I don't finish it? You think every fast I ever attempted to do that I finished all of them? Well, no, that's not the truth. There are many fasts that I started. As a matter of fact, I think it may be the truth that I started more fasts and I didn't finish them than the fasts that I've actually completed. So what? Aren't you doing more than the average? Isn't that what supreme means? Well, get up and go for it again. The supreme ain't gonna quit. So come on, you gotta live up to that word. You're gonna have to surpass. And when you say supreme, you're saying super me. Supreme, super me, Superman. Okay, meaning beyond what man or human beings are doing on average. This is a real thing. This ain't no pseudo nothing. You listen, all you have to do is put yourself to it. So all y'all brothers, yeah, keep it lips sealed shut and just handle business. Because one thing I know is when you do that, can't nobody say anything. And then you'll realize, wait a minute, hold on. Only reason why motherfuckers been treating me this way because I ain't been treating myself right. You know what I'm saying? You start treating yourself right, motherfucker can't say nothing. You see what I'm saying to you? You got an older brother pick on you every day because they come in your room and you sitting there on the game and they come slap the headset off, they talking shit, whoop, whoop, and they come back now, they don't have nobody to pick on because every time they come to the house, you out and you jogging. By the time you get back to the house, they sleep. Because guess what they doing? Sitting on their ass playing the video game. And you ain't got time to go slap this because when you get back, you reading. You get back, you're studying what we got to study. You get back, you're doing this. Matter of fact, you got to get this done daily so you can't be on your slacking out. You got other stuff you got to tend to and finish. You see, you start replacing that. People will get mad at you for that. You have to understand that. Say, nigga, you supposed to be my test subject. I'm supposed to be able to bully you whenever I feel like it. You see, that's when you start separating. Or you got to start doing better by yourself. You see what I'm saying? Not by yourself as an individual. I'm saying you have to do right by you. Every time you started making them decisions, you did right by you. So ain't no such thing as I'm gonna quit. You didn't say, it wasn't about no money. It wasn't about no membership. It was about, do you understand so many calls been put out to help do certain things? We're looking constantly for those people to get things done. You know where our point is back to. I've been talking about it. Do I have to keep saying it? They gonna keep trying to act like that ain't important. You understand? But that's the one thing that hasn't changed. Because the one person that set all this in motion, set the whole record straight, that one person, we're not going to forget about him. But they say Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind. They said when in the movie Now You See Me, they forgot about me. I think it was Now You See Me too. They forgot about one man. They left one man behind. We're not leaving him behind. Because we can become supreme beings because of that. You understand? Because of him, because of the works that he did. You see, when in the songs I grew up on, we talked about all the other leaders. What we knew Malachi for doing and what we know him for doing is teaching us to become supreme beings. So nobody will have an excuse. All right? You ain't got to look at everybody else's sheets and see what they're doing. No, look at yours. Did you finish what you were supposed to do? Nobody can't do your push-ups for you. Nobody can't eat healthy for you. Nobody can't stop doing this for you. Nobody can't lift this for you. Nobody can't take that walk for you. You have to do it. Elect. You see what I'm explaining to you? I want to say this to y'all also. This is a new mantra for you. I am not a scroller. Say that to yourself. I am not a scroller. You don't have time anymore. It was fun. It was cute. You see the stories. You see the reels. You are not a scroller. You don't owe Instagram your time, TikTok your time. You don't scroll and wait for them to tell you what you're supposed to care about. You'll notice because you scroll it, you'll see something that if you weren't scrolling, it wouldn't even have any bearing in your life. You start creating the realities. That's why you call them content creators. They're consumers and creators. The supreme beings create. You see what I'm explaining to you? The same way you see me coming on, you think I always feel motivated to come on here and do teachings? No, I love to teach. That I always feel like it. Okay? The consistency part is, regardless of whether or not I feel like it, it needs to be done. Because we have to stir up something. Something else needs to move out here. And we got to show these other niggas what's going on. You have to be able to teach daily. Can you do it? Because I know somebody who did it. I know somebody who ain't stopped teaching ever since he started. You see what I'm explaining to you? It can't just take no breaks and come back later. Every day, what you got to say. And is it enough to say that people going to keep coming back and they're getting something else, wisdom flowing through, not just the knowledge? Because we'll come here and talk about the science stuff, the da-da-da-da. We'll go to Jesus. We'll go Islam if you want to. However we need to do it. But the wisdom needs to come through also so that people can hear this and not just be motivated. When they leave, so many things will be resonating in their subconscious self. That they'll start, people hit me up and say, yo, man, just off your teachings on YouTube, I done changed my life around. I only did like 5 teachings. But that's the truth behind it. That's that wisdom behind it. That it's enough. It ain't just going to pump you up. You ain't just walking around inflated. Okay, you're full of life. You see what I'm explaining to you? Let's go to the book of Revelation chapter 14. Only the chosen.
And I looked, and lo, a Lamb stood on a Mount Zion, and with him 144,000.
With him what?
144,000.
Y'all hear people talk about that number, right? When it comes to the chosen, or we the 100, they get it straight out of the Bible. It's right there. All the chosen, elect, Messiah, everything they say, it comes straight out of the Bible. Let's go ahead.
Having his father's name written in their foreheads.
Father's name written in their forehead, different things. Father's name written in the forehead is similar to what they talk about with the quote-unquote pineal gland activation. Okay, somebody just asked me that recently too. Say, how do you activate the pineal gland? I said, the pineal gland is active. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have melatonin production. That's why you have transduction of light. That's how you have circadian rhythm and sleep cycle regulation. It is active. These people really don't know what they're talking about. There's a whole system that has to activate around the pineal gland. And that's the brain itself. That 1,000-petal flower, the crown chakra, Sahasrara, that needs to activate, not just know it, all of them, as a matter of fact. They don't say just activate one thing. Okay, you have to make sure the whole thing is in order. You understand? So, and that's another part about it. The 144,000, people say it doesn't work. Oh, we don't need 144,000. We just got 144,000 chakras. Or we got 144,000 chakras. Or we got 144 chakras. Da, da, da. Ask them to name them. Look them in their eyes when you do it too. Make it interesting. So, okay, how many we got? 144. Name them. I'll wait. And name them in Sanskrit. Because you're using a Sanskrit word. Chakra, cycle, or loop. Okay, or power center. This is the actual translation of the word. Cycle, loop, or center. Okay, well, name 144 centers in our body. Name them in Sanskrit. You don't know what you're saying. You're trying to take biblical words, speaking of tribes of actual people and bloodlines, and turn them into some type of metaphysical biblical concept. You don't know what you're saying. So we can't say 144,000 doesn't work. Or taking people to an elevated plane of Mount Zion, Okay, or Sion, heaven, a heavenly plane, doesn't work. Ilion or Ilion. They called Dr. Malachi and said, you're crazy. It was a word. It actually existed. An elevated plane, higher world, upper world. We can't say that doesn't work. When the last time you seen 144,000 people get together and they were able to sing a song that only the 144,000 knew? When the last time you seen 144 people do it? When the last time you seen 1 plus 4 plus? When the last time you seen 9 people do it? When have we been able to get 9 telepathic ones of you to stand in agreement? You don't got to even talk. What are you talking about? You don't have to walk. What are you walking about? Just stand still in agreement with one another. Okay? The closest we got to that is the Septarishis. The Septarishis in the Hindi story where you had Adiyogi Shiva, and Shiva came around and was silent. And only 7 remained around Shiva. And they became the Septarishis who were able to soak up the wisdom in that muteness. They were able to take in the truth without Shiva having to utter it. Okay, or that first master teacher, as they call it, some 15,000 years ago, Adiyogi Shiva. You see, so Septarishis, that would have been 7 Orishis. Orishis, go look it up. You'll see what I'm saying. All right, as you got all these people talking about Orishis now. They're talking about 144 Orishis, 7 Orishi, you know what I'm saying, Orishas. Okay, that's Hindu. Okay, they talk about these same things. So these were elect or chosen people. And Dr. Malachi York said, people say, how do we know we're chosen? He said, you choose yourself. What do you mean? Okay, somebody come up to you and say, you're the devil, you're drilling holes in our boat. What would you do with that type of information? Okay, some of y'all, if Dr. Malachi York walked up to you and said, you're a black devil, what would you do? Some of y'all, your hearts would turn cold. Okay? Your eyes would turn cold. Your stares would become venomous. Why? Because you knew that, but you were trying to cloak it. Some of y'all, it will be the best day of your life. You will feel relief. You'll be like, I am? So then what can you do? The only thing you can do is undevil your damn self. I'm drilling a hole in the boat? Let me stop. Some of y'all going to double down and drill faster. It depends on your nature. You see what I'm explaining to you? So if you really want to be elect ones and you're one of us, and you see me come out and say, yo, you ain't moving right, you're not going to go out and slander me. You're not going to attack me. You're not going to get upset. You're not going to have a poisonous stare. You're going to be like, he's right. You want to know why? Because you already knew that. Okay? So how you deal with truth also determines whether or not you're one of us. He's going to explain it to you. So again, the elect of you, how many of you have we been able to get together telepathically inclined? Why I keep saying telepathic, I'll explain it briefly. Because they're saying only the 144,000 could learn that song. Okay? So that could also be speaking about the Father's name written in their forehead, the ability to speak telepathically. Other than that, what you mean only the 144,000 can learn a song? If I say she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes, she'll be coming around the mountain, she'll be coming around the mountain, she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Some of y'all already know that. Y'all ain't, so not only all of y'all, but some of y'all not the 144,000. Some of y'all not chosen. Maybe none of y'all are chosen. How do y'all know the song? You see what I'm explaining to you? Every song we ever learn, anybody can learn it. What they're saying is it'll be a message, like it will be knowing. Okay, take that for thought or don't take it for thought. Like in the movie Knowing, it's a message that only the 144,000 can receive. And that will be a new song. And they'll know where to go. Like in the movie Close Encounters, where they were being called to the elevated plane. They didn't know what was going on. They're going crazy to everybody else. All right, nigga piling dirt in his living room to build something that he's seeing as a model. But he said something's driving me here. Same thing Pop said. Same thing Malachi said. Some of y'all said, he said that book got super power in them. Some of y'all feel driven to the ship. Some of y'all feel driven to the class. And you keep coming in and then you try to fool yourself and say the world is where you belong. You see what I'm explaining to you? Some of y'all are choosing regression. Why? We don't know. But that's what's happening. So here's the call. Stop. Just stop. Just stop. It's that simple. Is it too late? It can't be too late because I'm talking to you right now. It can't be too late. You just have to ask yourself, how many times will you get to wait for a message like this where you can feel good and convince yourself that feeling good was the whole of the battle? No, don't just feel good about what I'm saying. Oh, there's more time. Do something about it, okay, so that you can make yourself of the chosen, of the elect, yourself. Let's go, let's keep reading.
And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters,
Right?
and as the voice of a great thunder. And
Come
I
on.
heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps.
Listen, the voice is a what? A sound. Harpers harping with their harps. I don't know why they need to say that. I don't know what they want harp with other than that. But harpers harping with their harps, right? A voice, a sound of thunder is coming from. This is a craft. You see, is it a possibility that enough of you can get together? That when you gather together, I don't know, maybe on somebody's back porch, that you let off a certain type of tone and they can pull right up on you and say, we see you by flashing light. I'm not echoing it, this is just what the mic does. I'm saying it's a possibility that enough of you can get together that your light is green enough that they can see you, because y'all have amber light amongst you. Don't worry about who it is, okay? They won't be able to stay around long. But you had a few amber lights amongst you. It doesn't matter, because there was enough of you. Okay, just enough that green light can shine and they pull up. It ain't the first time. Because remember, I told you I did that for some people before, but when they had the opportunity to say whether or not it happened, they lied about it. They won't. Listen, you're going to see everything I'm saying real soon. Okay, because more is happening than I'm saying. That's how you know it's happening. Because if you know anybody going to tell it, who is? Me. So if I'm not telling it, then you know it done got to that level. Okay? Because then all of the ones who tried to shun me, all the ones who tried to shut me down, told me that they tried to lie to y'all and all this stuff. Now y'all getting to see it. Some of y'all come around and let you hear certain things that's being said, see certain things that everybody else ain't seeing. I said, see, they lied. I could go tooth and nail and fight it, but why would I do that? I'm elect. Why would I waste my time fighting with the bottom of the barrel? And you chose to be bottom of the barrel. I was given authority to tread over serpents and scorpions. When you're one of mine, I don't need to tread over you. They say Faze is arrogant. Faze is, he got ego. You know, he's talking to him like talking to a brick wall. He's full of himself. And you need to ask him, what did you do to him? What did you do? What did you say to him? Because when I met him, he embraced me. When I met him, he asked me, yo, you good? I said, yes. He said, no, are you really good? What's really going on with you? And I broke down crying. You see what I'm saying? No, I met Faze and we spent some time together. Well, what did you say to Omari that he hit you with that light you didn't expect? And now you're going around with that anger in your heart. And you have that anger against you. Because some people regret how they handled me when they met me. Some people regret because now they're seeing it later. They're like, man, I saw you. And they try to come around. I said, when you listen, this is that test for you. Because you never know whether mercy will be offered or not. The test for you is when truth shows up. It don't have to be me. When truth shows up, how will you handle it? Her, him, we. You see? And then you'll say, okay, then if the we is a part of you, if you start functioning as that truth, you'll get why certain books are written and will say, when we did this, when we did that, memory will come back to you at that point. You see what I'm explaining to you? Because you'll be one of us. Now the man has become like one of us. There's multiple sides to look at that. You see, if you're not one of us, then it ain't going to resonate. You understand that? Let's go ahead. A little more.
And they sung as it were a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000.
They sang as if it were a new song. Was it a new song? No. They sang as if it were a new song. Okay? This has happened before. Over and over again, cycles. Human beings rise and fall. And then they rise and fall. And there's only a few that make it out of that cycle. You see, where they're able to govern themselves as guys amongst men. You see, it's been done before. It's been uttered before. It's been said before. So don't shut down the 144,000 thing. Don't shut down the 144 or the 9. Dr. Melchizedek said in that last class, when all this is over, only 9 of you will be with me. All of what, Pops? I thought we were just going to be teaching and everything was going to be good on the land. Why did you tell us to read the Jesus story? What do you mean when things happen? And why you talking about the FBI and all this stuff? And then all this happened, and he disappears. And he's been watching and paying attention. And some of y'all know this. Some of y'all seen it now. Say, damn, ain't no way this nigga phased mine. I was sitting outside my house and I was talking about the prophets, how he talked about the prophets, and ships flew over me, and then I seen the green light. This nigga is telling the truth. You see? And listen, I didn't just come out here and say, I'm telling the truth. I had to go through and experience it. I had to see it for myself. Listen, do you think that I just accept what Dr. Malachi York said? No. No, I don't care what it is. He taught me not to, so I'm not going to. Learn from me. If he says it, I don't believe it. That's how we got here. I didn't get here from being some follower of Dr. Malachi York. I know that injustice was done. I saw the conspiracy, and I want him out. He needs to be out of there. All this other stuff, that's the stuff in between that you think people care about. I don't give a damn about that. People talk to me about the books all the time. I say, I don't care nothing about the books. We want more books from them. We want more doctrine. I say, I want the man out. You know what I'm saying? You don't know the man if you talking like that. Do you know the man? Okay, let me talk about the man. The man could delete all his books from existence. He could just delete them and start over. And for the next 5 years, he could put out more information than he ever put out. And you wouldn't know where it's coming from because you didn't know where it was coming. You're only trying to act like you're wise because you have his information to go off of. Before then, when he was out and speaking, y'all didn't know where the wisdom was coming from. Don't try to fool yourself and think you're him. It was the wisdom that you heard that activated you. You say, whoa. It was the wisdom that Hollywood picked up on that inspired all them sci-fi movies. It was the wisdom that these conscious community people running around here acting like they got now. You see what I'm saying? Everybody want to be this person and that person, Anu and Marduk and Tahuti and da-da-da-da. Y'all got that from him because of the wisdom. So where's your wisdom? Wisdom ain't just repeating what somebody said. Wisdom is you bringing new things. We ain't had a new language since Nuwapu. Have we? I mean, you can say Sabec, that's still his. If he's responsible for that, that still belongs to him. Ain't no new languages came out. Ain't no revitalized language came out. Everybody talking about Metu, they don't even speak it. You see what I'm explaining to you? They just know about it. They know about the hieroglyphs. Niggas say, yeah, that wasn't real hieroglyphs. I said, okay, read this for me. I can't read it. How do you know what's real hieroglyphs if you can't even read hieroglyphs? Niggas say he lied about the Sumerian language because he was talking about Sumerian hieroglyphs and that. Sumerian hieroglyphs. So hold on, let me stop right there. What? You said Dr. Malachi York was talking about Sumerian hieroglyphs? Yeah, show me. In fact, before you show me, what language did the Sumerians speak? I don't know. You don't know? So let's stop. Let's end this conversation. So everybody trying to, I'm a metaphysicist, I'm Anubis, stupid, everybody just act like they just throwing a bunch of ancient Egyptian letters and names together, and that makes them chosen. You're going to have to stop thinking the funk too. Another thing, when you start living more of your elect self, it'll be easier to detect the fakes. Trust me, you ain't going to come and ask me. It'll be easier. Okay, I'll give you a few things. All right, then we get up out of here. I'll give you a few things that we get up out of here. It's how you detect the ones who are kicking it like they're choosing, but they're chosen, but they're really blaspheming. Okay, they're a part of the gathering people of Shaitan. Okay, this is how you will know. Just randomly play Dr. Malachi York around him. Easy. What you laughing at? Just randomly, like don't even announce it. Say, hey, I want you to listen to something. You don't ask for the aux and just play Dr. Malachi York. Listen. And do it in a way that is unfair. So they have no choice but to, and it'll be the one that's like, hold on, that nigga speaking. He's speaking. That's who you rock with. And they like, man, what the fuck, bro? What's going on? Da, da, da. That's the devil. You say, nigga, phase, they're supposed to do that. Exactly, right? So do it when they're supposed to do it. So it can't nobody, don't do it when niggas chilling, they don't smoke, they blunt, everybody laid out. Do it do it in the most random moments. Just play his voice. Play his song. Play his music and watch people. You want to know another degree? How many degrees you want? You want another degree? Listen, when you're talking to somebody, no matter what they're talking about, they can be talking about cereal in the AM. Just say, praise God. If they frown, that's who you're dealing with. That's their initial response. Okay? Say, yeah, man, I'm about to give you some frosted flakes. Praise God. And nigga say, what the fuck? Exactly. Watch them. Watch them. Okay? Listen, it don't matter what's going on. If a nigga give you $20, say, thank you, Jesus. Just say it. Why don't y'all don't want the keys? Y'all want to talk to the other people TikTok video. You're talking to one of the ones. I'm giving you keys. And then anybody want to play them games with me, talking about they know the book, send them to me. We can play whichever religion game that I'm quoting from. And you'll see they're not one of the ones. It takes time to be the ones. Yeah, just be like, thank you, Jesus. You say, nigga, I gave you the dollar. What the fuck you thanking Jesus for? See? Aha. Caught you. And then walk off. Don't explain it. Say, aha, caught you. And then leave. Let them wonder what they were caught for. That's it. What you want some more? You want other ones? Okay, I mean, that's easy. Play phase one music. Play phase one music. And the motherfucker who don't nod when that shit on. Exactly. You don't remember. I have a song called Do or Die. Right? Who remember? I mean, this back in 2019 now. Okay, what is all please don't ask me for Chanel, I'm still, what's that? Please don't ask me for Chanel, I'm still, something, I'm still building my wealth or something like that. If you ain't rocking to this shit, you just revealing yourself. I'm giving you sciences. Yeah, put on phase one. The motherfucker that don't nod, not even a little bit. You nigga, you ain't nodding a little, not even a little bit, bro. That's the devil. Same thing, ain't that self-centered? Call it what you want. That's the devil. I don't give a damn if it's slow. Put on a slow jam. Be unfair. Put on a slow jam. If the motherfucker ain't turning up, that's the devil. Y'all don't understand. This may sound like a joke, but you line up 1,000. Only one is not the devil. You line up 1,000. 999 of them will transform into demons. You didn't see the Matrix movie where the lockdown happened and pressed that button? Everybody, nigga, everybody went after Neo and Trinity. It was just them two. The whole city was throwing themselves out the windows, nigga. Listen, there gotta be something happening in the back of their brain. Functioning as a whole. They came together for that. But they went after Neo. Niggas was killing themselves to get to him. Hoping that if they flung their body out of the windows, one of their bodies would land on Neo, land on Trinity. These people will self-destruct to take you with them. Sound familiar? You see what I'm explaining to you? So no, don't be confused. Play my music. And if they can't be around it, don't worry about it. That's one of the ones. What do you want? Easier ones? Okay, I'll give you some easier ones. All right, we got like 3 more minutes. Light some sage. Just like sage. That's easy. That's lower degree. Light some sage, walk around the house. Motherfucker like, well, what the fuck is that? That's him. Go ahead and open all your windows, open all your doors. Don't answer the question. Just walk out. Open everything and walk out. And let them, when you start hearing them go, let them holler. That's good for them. It's an exorcist. You know what I'm saying? I know you didn't count on Super Saiyan, but if it happens, let it. That's a part of it. Ain't that evolution? That's ascension right there. Let them ascend. Let it occur. Allow it to occur. What else? Okay, we did the Jesus thing. We did Dr. York, the phase, the sage. What's another one? You got one? What's another one? What's the way that you can tell when motherfuckers, they either posing or, you know what I'm saying? What's another way? I'll give you another easy, Jim. Wear shades. Wear shades. When you wear shades, people think, for some reason, especially they simple bodied, they think you're not looking at them. I don't know what it is. I'm still studying it. But it has to be some type of matter of psychology that human beings, they perform differently when they don't think they're being observed. Okay, similarly to that double slit experiment where there's an observation that determines the performance of or the functionality of an electron. Okay, humans ain't that damn different. You wear shades, they don't think they're being watched. I don't know what that is. I'm looking right at you. You see what I'm explaining to you? So we put a tiny veil over your eyes and watch what happens. And watch niggas get irritated. Why you always got on shades? It be the niggas too, I don't know why. Show me your eyes. Like, that's a little weird to me. I want to see your eyes. I don't want you to see my eyes now. You ain't never see them again. You see how it's playing to you? So the point is, you put on them shades, they ain't gonna know what to do. And why? Because you can observe people better. It's the same way, if you just do this without shades, look away from somebody and watch them in your peripheral. It's similar to the same thing. Don't believe me, test what Omari is saying. People perform differently when you're not looking right at them. You perform differently when motherfuckers ain't looking right at you. You see what I'm explaining to you? You'll be more like you when you're you, regardless of whether or not you're being watched. Y'all think it's a joke. When I get off of here, I'm exactly like this. I'm exactly who I am. If there are people around in person, they know I'm like this for real. If we get to talking, it's like this. We're going to laugh, we're going to crack jokes, I'm going to cuss, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. You might catch me sagging one day, you might catch me in a full-blown suit the next day. You don't know me. You see what I'm saying? It's better for you to not know me. You just know the event is happening. Okay? So these are some of the signs that you are chosen. All right? Now listen, I know I said we're about to get out of here, but we did have a few questions. So people have some questions. Let's see if we get a few of those answered real quick before we get up out of here.
Can you be unchosen?
Okay, can you be unchosen? Good question. Can you be unchosen? Answer is yes. You can be. And this is a simple response to that. If Lot is being told to go up the mountain, notice they're not picking Lot up and flying him up there. He has to make it up there. He has been selected. You see what I'm explaining to you? But the unchoosing will occur if Lot decides to not accept his mission, like the Mission Impossible, I think it is, all right, or whatever it is, might be MI5, one of these movies, where they were like, yo, this is your mission if you so choose to accept. If Moses, not Moses, I don't know how we got to him. Him too, though. If Lot decided not to go up that mountain, he would have unchosen himself, and he would have been a part of the destruction. You see, yes, unchosen, that happens all the time. People unchoose themselves when they make decisions that better support their lower self, as you call it, or their primitive self. You understand? When they know better. They literally they know better, but they choose less. You know what I'm saying? Or let's say like this, they know better, but they choose worse. So that's a real good question. The simple answer is yes, you can be unchosen. The question is, why would you want to do that? I'm not saying you do. So why would anybody do that? And the main answer to that question is because they have the right to. You have the right to ascend and you have the right to descend. There's no fear-mongering needed. There's no none of that. This is all your decision. You can say this nigga is crazy and just walk away from me. I'm not going after people saying, come back, come back. You just walk, just go. You'll experience certain things, you may not experience certain things. Maybe you needed me, maybe you didn't need me. I pointed you where to go, you don't have to listen. Now the people who listen, things is changing in their life. You see what I'm saying? I'm not selling you anything, this is just what it is. Things are changing in their lives. And I'm watching it happen. You see, so simple answer is yes, you can be unchosen. My advice would be to do everything in your power to make sure that you don't make that type of decision that causes for that. What else we got?
What role does your name play in being chosen?
What role does your name play in being chosen? Okay, it depends on what vantage point you're looking at. If you're coming from the vantage point of the book of life, okay, if your name is already written in it, then there's going to be certain things that you're going to do in your lifetime that will cause you to live up to that particular name, okay, or those tones nominally, they're called nominal tones, okay, where there's an actual reason for your name, similar to Jesus. Jesus' name was Jesus because they said they're going to call his name Jesus because he's going to rescue his people. You see, you look at certain people's names and you'll see what they do in their names. Okay? Then you look at other people's names and they don't live up to their name. Some people don't know what their meaning of their name is. They haven't even given it one. So it may be that you're more charged to be or supreme based off your name. Okay? You may feel a closer relationship to your name than most people do or others do. All right? So that may have some type of effect on what actions you take in your life. So if you're encouraged to do better just based off of, let's say your name is Best, then you just might be encouraged to do better than most. You see what I'm explaining to you? You want to be the best, okay? if your name is Beyonce, then you just may become a superstar because Beyonce means to surpass others. So you put yourself in a better position to be elect, even if it's just elite status. Okay, well, you can have resources to do certain things. You may have the money to go out there and study with the Tibetan monks because you're Beyonce. All right, if you choose to be Beyonce and you still live in the fucking America and you're still just making music and you're still just performing, excuse me, Beehive people, please don't come for me. That was a waste of Beyonce. You see what I'm explaining to you? That would not have benefited your elect self in that regard of this conversation. However, if you choose whatever it is with your name, okay, to do actions that lead you to that elitehood, that allow you to align with this elect conversation of being in tune with extraterrestrials and having otherworldly experiences and things like that, and you have explanations for it with your experience, then yeah, your name pushed you to do it. It's a motivating factor. So yeah, it has a lot to do with it. It just depends on what that name would be. Let's get two more.
Okay. Can you make others chosen?
No, you can't. You can't make you can't make choices for others. Look at the question. You can't make choices for others. I know we would love to. Listen, believe you me, or don't. Matter of fact, don't believe me. I would love to make choices for people. I can't make choices for people. I'll tell people things and they just looking at me and I'm like, ain't no way they're going to make the decision because just based off the way they're looking at me, they're not hearing what I'm saying. You see, you can't make choices for people, so you cannot make other people chosen. You can attempt to encourage and motivate people to get up, all right, and do better or do the right thing. But you can't do the right thing for them. You, listen, when it's your time, your heart goes on a scale, not theirs. And vice versa. When it's their time, their heart, not yours. You see, you won't be able to vouch for anybody. That's the hardest part. Can you imagine being on a ship or on a craft? I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm using an analogy. Can you imagine being on a craft and you have to watch the people you love be left behind and you know what's coming? Did you see the movie Knowing? That last scene when the man dropped down and he held his stomach, that wasn't no regular cry. That was a cry that came from centuries of people doubting, okay, ignorance. People were supposed to be scientists and close themselves off from all these otherworldly sciences. That was centuries of disbelief in Kafaruna. You see, and he failed. His son made it out. He did it. Okay, that's abandonment. That's left behind. And you've been left behind by God. And you got the ability to stand and look God in the face. And God doesn't have emotion to be able to say, or the Elohim, the Teru, whatever you want to call them, overseers. They don't have the emotion to be able to say, you know what, you're crying, you're sad. You're right, this is your baby boy. Okay, let's let you on. They have orders. And they're here to do what they're here to do. And that's it. Your emotion won't even be recorded in the sands of time. It'll just be a thought that never occurred. That's how they would have to be thinking. They can't think this person is sad because this person can't go. Or this person is sad because they can't go. The boy and the father was sad. The little girl was chilling. You know what I'm saying? Her mama had left and everything. She cool. All right? She already knew what was happening. So my point is, you can't do it for others, and they can't do it for you. So no, it will be a beautiful idea. It's just not a reality from what I'm seeing. Okay, now some of you may be different. You may have certain abilities. What I'm seeing and what I've seen in my dreams and visions, no, you can't vouch for anybody. And when it's time, this is the most powerful moment, the moment of truth, where you have to imagine what I'm saying. You're not talking about just a natural occurrence. Same way people have different responses to death. Okay, a natural death hits differently than somebody taking your loved one away. You see what I'm explaining to you? A natural disaster is one thing. When you got people stepping off of crafts, okay, with neutral facial expressions, looking at you as they taking your child away, or taking your wife or your husband away, all right? And then they leave, and you're just there. You don't have a knowing of a whereabouts. Where did they go? You don't even know that. You can't know. It's similar to the death thing. Okay, but now you know that there's destruction coming because that's what the warning was. And then you have to endure that. You see? So my point is, no, you can't do it for them. And they can't do it for you. I know that might be a tough reality, okay? But that's not something that I have control over. And as far as I know, I can't vouch for anybody either. Yeah. Last one.
Your level of agreeableness, is that genetics?
I think it has a lot to do with genetics. And I think people who struggle with disagreeableness is a genetic thing. It's genetic warfare. You see, a lot of people talk about spiritual warfare. I'm telling you, what spiritual warfare seems like to me from my studies is bloodline. You know what I'm saying? You got people that may not like you just because of the bloodline. I think we were talking about that yesterday. So, yeah, disagreeableness, agreeableness, it could be the bloodline, it could be genetics, similarly to when they say I put enmity or hostility between the serpent seed and the woman seed. Okay, there'll be hostility between Eve and the serpent's children. Okay, so if that's a true story, then y'all are the children. I'm a child. And you have to see who's a child of what. So this is, again, what Dr. Malachi was explaining. It shouldn't be so much hostility. And it's getting heavier now. When you'll go in a room and you can feel the hostility. You can walk in a room full of people, you'll feel it. You can't even stay around. They haven't even spoken a word. You want to know where you'll feel it? You've always felt it in your chest. It's always been there. That's like the first receptor. That's like that sensory input that they don't speak about. The heart, the chest. You'll say animosity, pressure. You'll feel that. It's the word people use. You got animosity, you got pressure. We got something you want to get off your way. Chest. You see? So when you have that detector there that'll allow for you to say, man, something going on. You walk in the room, it doesn't even just feel like a thick room. It feels like the people have something against you. All right, you talking to somebody, say, yo, y'all was thinking about, y'all been cool for a while. Let's go get some ice cream and let's talk about these business moves. Like, man, what you saying again? Even just how they would say that, you say, and then you have to pay attention to you, how you respond. Well, I was saying maybe we should. You went from up here to here. What happened? That's hostility. Okay, one or the other of you are going to have to make a decision. And the advice from Dr. Malachi York was get away from them. You see what I'm explaining to you? Because it ain't going to be for so long when you coming up with these bright ideas for love and advancement and y'all are friends and you got your homeboys or whatever and y'all let's get up out of this hood, They're going to want to get rid of you. You understand? You're going to trigger them. I just talked to somebody. Get away, change your, matter of fact, you don't even need a circle. You don't need a circle. Right now, especially in this moment, you don't need a circle if that circle ain't going where you're going. Get away from them people. You see? Get up out of all y'all who out in the public and be around all this. This is not the time. Okay? Don't be around all kind of people. You don't see people losing their minds and that green light getting on you and you don't think they're going to smell it. They already started to. You see? They wake up and they eyes go bloodshot red. You understand that? So it is genetics. And this is what you're going to have to do eventually. You're going to have to stop responding to it. All right? It's not going to make it easier at first. When you stop responding to it, it's going to activate it more. But eventually, here's what they're going to do. They're going to remove themselves. If you continue to engage Cain and Abel. Trust me, I done went through it. They tried to take me out of here. You see? Cain and Abel. One or the two of you are going to have to make decisions. Multiple ones of y'all are going to have to decide. All right? But they will hurt you. They will try to take you out and they won't know what they did. You see what I'm explaining to you? So yeah, it is a genetic war. I speak life over all of y'all. I speak life over everybody that's making it there. Make it there. Don't let your heart be the reason. Don't let your lust be the reason. Don't let your ignorance be the reason. Don't let anything be the reason you don't get there. You see what I'm explaining to you? You hear that voice? Don't let people say, oh, you listening to phase one. Tune them out. Tune them out. You want to know why I'm telling you to tune them out? Because I don't want to be the chosen one. Same reason why I put in that song that I never released yet, that will be coming out on a Float album eventually. Okay? That song, Rahu Back, well, they tried to say I was trying to be Dr. Malachi York's successor. Right? I said, listen, if it was a phase show, please explain to me why. If it's a phase show, why would I constantly say, Dr. Malachi, you are Malachi, to the point where now it's such a viral thing. What are you going to do? The name is out there. They know why that occurred. If I just wanted it to be me, why wouldn't I just act like it's me? A lot of y'all would have still found me, and you'd be following me. I could have played like I'm some guy. I could have changed my name from Omari to Tahuti. I could have been Malachi Zadek. I could have called myself Melchizedek. I could have called myself one of the elders. I could have said I'm divine insight, and people would be right there believing it. You see how easy it is for people to believe. No, I don't want to be chosen. That's not my thing. I never claimed this one. You remember the song I put on the church shoes? Just because I'm the chosen one, that don't mean that I want to be. It gets so serious, I'll take it a little more personal with y'all then we get out of here. Okay? I know we've been getting out of here for a while, but that's how it is when that ether get to moving. Listen, I was sitting in my office, and I was doing some work, and I think I got off of one of them Instagram lives. It might have been an Instagram live where I was teaching somebody, I did a reading or something. I get off, I sit the phone down, and I just lean back in the swivel chair. Then I look to my left, I see books, paper, notes, pens. I look to my right, I see books, paper, notes, pens. I look to front, I see paper, pens, notes, books. And I spoke out loud. I said, wait a minute. I said, hold on. Y'all don't know me like that, okay? Well, it don't matter what's going on. I talk to Pops. I'm not saying he talked back. I don't give a damn to prove that. But I will talk out loud to the man. Just in case nigga can't hear me. I said, hold on, wait a minute. I said, you trying to get me to pick this shit up? Are you trying to get me to pick this shit up? I said, okay, I'll make a deal with you. This is just me talking out. I'm not saying he was speaking to me. I said, okay, I'll make a deal. Come out, say it to me, look me in my eyes. If this is what you want me to do, tell me this is what I need you to do. And I'll do whatever needs to be done. Because you already gave your life. I'm not giving my life to these people and they abandoned you. And that's the end of the story. You will see me disappear. Y'all think I'm playing. I would literally disappear. I would cease to exist. You would walk past me and not know me. I would change my entire identity. I don't want what these liars have been saying. I saw how they did him. Why would I want that? You see what I'm explaining to you? They left him, abandoned him, and for 23 years, they been trying to act like, we're coming for you, Pops. We can, listen, Pops, I know you can, okay? I talk to all of them. They're lying, you know that. I talk to every single last one of these people, all of them. Listen, I'm not going to go through no names or none of that. But I talked to them and they played because as soon as we got to a door of being able to help you for real, they slammed it for money, for ego, for issues they had with people, and none of it had anything to do with you. So why would I want that? I don't. I just want him to come out. If he come out, meaning like when he come out, not if. When he come out, but the if was going to be if he comes out and goes to Liberia, if he comes out and goes to Ghana, if he comes out and goes down the street, okay? When he come out, whichever direction he go, I don't require anything of him. You see, people say, yo, as soon as he get out, I'm going to run up on him. I got some questions for him. I said, you ain't coming nowhere near him. They're like, damn, face, you gatekeeper. I said, listen, if you heard what I said, you heard what I said. No, he ain't coming out to be used by y'all again. Now, if you know him, he's not done. He ain't gonna be done. I don't think Pop knows how to do anything else but teach. I mean, he's gonna do that until he leaves here. I'm just saying, he can come out and do whatever he wants to do. Not come out and be used by these people. And if he wants somebody to keep this going, and he wants me to do it, that's the only way I would do it. So let that be known, that Omari is saying, as of right now, fuck no. I'm not doing it. I'm ready to go. No, they think they know it all. Let them figure it out. Every generation they do this. If they think they got it together, let them get it together. They got all the conscious communities of the leaders that are up here. Okay, let them lead the people where they're supposed to go. You see what I'm saying to you? So that was a little more personal. All right. But the point is, I did say, I said, okay, well, if this is something I'm supposed to be doing, if it's a part of my life, because I'm 27 almost now. I'm 26, 27 in September 20th. If that's what I'm supposed to do, when he come out, he can tell me that. Other than that, right now, all I'm saying is that's the one. No matter how well you hear me teach, can we get that on record? You can hear me teach well. I'm not trying to be him. I'm inspired by him. My mannerisms and when I speak and move a certain way and da-da-da-da and talking, some of y'all say, man, you sound like Pops. Don't get it twisted. I'm inspired by him. That's why. Same way if I'm inspired by a certain rapper, you'll hear my rapping scheme similar to those. That rappers. I'm inspired by him. I'm telling you, you don't make the mistake. I don't know where to go. I don't know what's beyond him. You see that? It will have to be him. What y'all are looking for, you won't find it in me unless I'm ordained. And I'm not accepting ordinance from anybody or anything other than him. So this is not a phase one show. I had to be loud enough for you to hear. This is still his thing. You see what I'm saying to you? So I love y'all. All right? Peace in the Lamb is truly wonderful. Hadus Ashur, meaning divine love. Okay? Signs, you are chosen. You can tell them I said that, by the way.